Hi everybody. So I am pretty much redoing a video, trying to redo a video. I'm going to be doing some videos that I did a really long time ago that were my first videos, and sound wasn't great on it. So I'm trying to redo some, and they were some of my first videos, so they weren't as great as I wanted them to be. So I'm going to do it again. So hopefully I get all the information in that I wanted to. And I was also a bit like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm making videos to share some of this stuff with people. So I was a little bit hesitant and shy, but really wanting to share this information. So I'm redoing some videos, and hopefully you will enjoy them and get good information from them, because I've really had some really incredible experiences, and I do want to share those with people. And you know, my goal is not just to have a YouTube channel. My goal is to share this information so that people can actually get some information for themselves that hopefully can improve their lives too. Like this one's going to be about breath work, and breath work can really do amazing things for your life. And I really truly mean that. You can have amazing experiences doing breath work. It can open, okay, I'm going to say it can open your third eye. Absolutely, 100%. There's a lot of research on it. Joe Dispenza gets into it if you want to read some of his work. It's very powerful. So please do breath work. So I'm going to just give some of my experiences. I grew up with 3 siblings who had cystic fibrosis, and they all passed away from when I had a brother who died when I was 5. I was 3 years old. I had 2 siblings. My older brother, he died. How old was he? He was 21. No, he was 22. He was 22. I was 21. Something like that. I might be screwing that up. It was a long time ago. And my sister Jana, she died when I was 23. They had cystic fibrosis. So I grew up around a lot of, around people who had really serious illness around breathing. And if we can find ways to optimize our breathing, we can have a greater life. And also doing breathing techniques can relieve anxiety. They can calm down anxiety. They can also help create more anxiety. So, you know, it's good to do a little research. But it can bring about incredible health benefits. And I mean incredible health benefits. Not just, hey, it will help me be more psychic, which it will. But anyway. So the importance of breathing is big. And I did a holotropic breath work in the 90s. And I just always knew breath work is important. I just knew it. So I went to a holotropic breathwork practitioner in New York City. Took the train out to Jackson Heights where this woman lived. And it was like a 3-hour breathwork session. It was kind of crazy. I didn't know what to expect. I just knew this is good stuff. And at that time, I really didn't think I knew what I was going to get from it or what the purpose was. But later on, I know now. It can really help you move through old stagnant energy patterns, belief systems, just stuff that's stuck. And at some point, things get stuck physically too. So it will help move that too. So it's so powerful. Anyway, do breath work. So anyway, that was an interesting session. They're prepared for anything when you do holotropic breath work. Like maybe you're going to throw up, maybe you're going to freak out. So it's almost like being in a padded room, and you have this facilitator with you, making sure you're safe as you do this really intense breath work. Yeah, check it out. I think they do group sessions now where you can get it done, or you could probably find someone doing a YouTube video of holotropic breathwork. I have not investigated that. I'm sure it's out there. Anyway, so at some point, and this was not that long ago, maybe 4 years ago, I'm not sure, 3 years ago, I don't know. Anyway, I decided to do Soma breathwork. Soma breath is is getting out there and more well known these days. I think they were just starting out when I first did Soma breath. Oh, and also, just as an aside, there's also Wim Hof. Lots of people have done Wim Hof, have heard of it. You can find it all over YouTube, learn how to do it. It's very powerful. What I found that is more men are attracted to Wim Hof and more women are attracted to Soma breath. But, you know, do your research. A lot of people there are tons of YouTube videos on breathwork now, so you can just look it up. Anyway, I like Soma breath better than Wim Hof. That's just my own personal preference. It just seems, it works with me better, and they have really good music with it too. Really good music. Anyway, I signed up for the 3-week breathwork sessions, and I cannot remember what it's called, but it's a 3-week class. So, and what you do is every day you do breath work at your convenience, your time, and they have one week. Every week they have a session, a live session, but you're doing these recorded sessions. So the first week is 20-minute sessions. The second week is 45-minute breathwork sessions, and the third week is an hour, and it's pretty intense. That hour one, really intense. So, but you're building up to it. So I knew just instinctively that doing this breath work, I was going to feel a lot of old emotions and sadness was going to come up. I just knew it. So I thought I was prepared for that. But what happened was that as I was doing the first week, so this is just 20-minute sessions of breath work, which is fairly easy compared to the other stuff. I felt incredibly sad, and I mean really sad. It really surprised me how sad I felt. I knew I was going to get sad. I didn't know it was going to be that sad. It was like, whoa, this is tough. But I knew I was going to get to the other side of it, so I kept doing it. Okay, and then I got into the second week. Second week is 45 minutes of breath work, and it's much more intense. It is the different timing on that, and you do a lot of the Mula Bandha, if you know what that is. Mula Bandha is when you breathe, you do a breath hold with an empty breath. And then at some point after you hold your breath for a while, you breathe in and you pull your energy up from your root chakra all the way up into either your third eye or the top of your head, and hold your breath with a full breath. So that is, has a really specific name, dang. But it's Mula Bandha, which is root chakra. Bandha means band or to hold. So you do that, and you do a lot of that. This is where more of the DMT kind of psychedelic experiences can happen. Well, when I started doing that one, the second week is when I had some of the biggest experiences. The first one that I had was I started having really intense dreams, a lot of really vivid dreams. And I usually do my breath work at night. That's just what I like to do. And I do it sitting up. Some people lie down and do it. I don't want to fall asleep. So I do it sitting up. And I just like that because I think it's easier to breathe, pulling that energy up. And you have more control than lying down and doing breath work. Anyway, but you know, you get to find out what's right for you. So one night after doing some breath work, so this is just the second week, I have this dream about, there's a leprechaun running around in my dream. And he's a pretty feisty leprechaun. And And I kind of wake up out of this leprechaun dream, and I see this green energy rising up from the root of my body, green, like a big band of energy, rising up from through my spine, up through my whole body. It's a big band of energy that's rising up, and it gets stuck in my solar plexus, and I can feel this energy kind of building, and it's like, but I'm getting the information as this is happening, why I'm blocked there and what's going on. And at some point it finally builds up enough that it builds up and out, and it shoots up through the rest of my my spine, up through the top of my head. And it's this bright green energy. And I got, again, it's usually family stuff. And so I got why I'm blocked, why I was blocked in that area. But it definitely moved some blocks, like big time. Anyway, and then after that, and this is all the second week. I mean, I also had an experience where I saw these, while I was doing the breathwork, this was not a dream, I was doing the breathwork, I had these two big chains, like big chains all the way across my body, like from my shoulders through, over my chest, down into the hip area. I saw these big chains, and I saw them fly off my body, just fly off. Of course, this is my energy body. And when that happened, I got the information of what it was while it was happening. So this is, again, family stuff. It's usually family stuff. And this has to do with, the rules and restrictions and belief systems and the constructs that we are brought up in. I could see and feel it. And I grew up Mormon, so there were a lot of rules. There was a lot of, shall we say, constriction and with just uptightness, like, oh my God, very uptight and very rigid people around me, and people who are in pain too. So anyway, I felt this stuff just flying off me. It was amazing. And so as I'm doing this, I felt a lot more and more freedom, like emotional freedom, spiritual freedom, physical freedom even. Really amazing. And then the biggest experience that I had while I was doing this was, and again, this was all in the second week. And I did go into the third week. So again, I was sitting there breathing, sitting on the floor, breathing, sitting up, doing rigorous, it is rigorous breathing. And while I'm doing this very rigorous breathing, in and out, and then doing the pulling up on the Mula Bandha, bringing that energy up into your head, holding it, and this breathing becomes circular, and you can feel this energy kind of moving up and around, up and around. And it's very powerful. I suddenly popped out of my body, so my consciousness, Lorina, is out of my body, but there's still a part of me that's sitting and doing the breath work. So I was still doing this very rigorous breathing while there was a part of me that was out of my body. Now I popped out of my body. So really, I call it bilocation because I was in two places at once, here and there, consciously in two places at once. And while I popped out of my body, and I was in this space of blackness. It was just black. You could call it the no thing, or the 0 point field, the empty womb of the Divine Mother, which is the all and everything. Anyway, yeah, people have different names for it. Anyway, I was in this space of all darkness, but it didn't feel scary. It didn't feel scary at all. Anyway, I'm sitting there noticing, and all of a sudden, what I see is, it's like there is this being who's there, and it could have been my higher self, I don't know, but not identified, as kind of showing me stuff. And I don't see this being because it's so vast. And there he is, I'm going to say he's he's showing me the construct of Lorina as a hologram of the Lorina identity. I think she's the identity of Lorina, and how it is projected into this hologram and how it kind of comes to be. And so what I'm seeing is this construct that is circular, like a circular tube, and there are these round, kind of oval shapes, not oval long ways, but oval sideways, stacked up perfectly, one layer after another. And what I saw was the energy of Lorina, who she thinks she is, and all of her belief systems. I'm talking in a second person here. All my belief systems, everything I think, feel, experience, what is still hanging on there, is being projected out energetically through this structure, and this becomes my reality here. This is what I saw. At some point I'm going to draw what that looks like on a whiteboard so people can see what it looked like. It's actually quite a simple structure. Anyway, so I could see how we project into our reality, and it is, and I heard 100%, you are what you believe. 100%. 100% your belief systems. That is what you are, that's what you're experiencing. So, and that, you know, we don't, when we kind of look at what we believe in, I think a lot of times we don't understand what the level of depth that those belief systems are, as far as this is our structure of reality. It is the structure of our reality, as far as like, so believing that that we only have these powers, and we are separate, and we are and when we get sick, this is what's going to happen to us, and this is all part of our belief systems. And so and what I got, 100%, you are your belief systems. So if you can really go through your belief systems and try and shift and change them, you know, start from the top down, you know, start with the easy ones, or the more simple ones, is my point. Anyway, but I also saw, when I was seeing this, I saw two beings of light. These two beings were kind of up and over here in front of me. One was, and they were they were spirit beings. They were incredibly beautiful. One was white and one was black. And the white one was just this streams of this beautiful white energy coming off of it, and you could feel the power of this being. Absolutely beautiful. And you could feel and it was super powerful. And then the black being right next to it was the same kind of equal measure of power, but dark. And that scared me. Now that dark being, it scared me. It's probably a good thing. Anyway, but what I heard was, you can be as good as you want to be. You can be as bad as you want to be. So it's your choice. We're in a free will structure. You know, please be a good, kind, compassionate, loving person. Choose the light or the white. But you get to choose. And of course, that doesn't mean that you will not, and we all do, your actions create reactions or create an energetic karmic response. And it's not like karma, oh, you've been bad, so karma's going to get you. It's more, this is what you're creating, and there are repercussions from that. Anyway, pretty amazing. So what I also got was that we are, sorry, I'm looking at my notes when I look down because I didn't want to forget anything. That you do have the ability to be superhuman. We all do. We just don't know, or we have forgotten that we are superhuman, that we have those abilities. You can levitate, you can have telepathy, you can do telekinesis. You can have greater and greater levels of psychic awareness, psychic visions. This is part of our belief structure that we are kind of taken out of as we grow up. So you can have those things happen like all the great yogis and saints can do. You can do those too. Read Paramahansa Yogananda's autobiography of a yogi, kind of help you clue into some of that stuff if you've never read it. Highly recommend it. Anyway, we have those abilities. And so those are the majority of like really cool experiences that I had doing the Somabreath, the 3-week, I think it's the 21-day journey or something like that. Anyway, highly recommend it. And you know, that kind of, the psychic awareness does continue. It doesn't go away. So you're building up your awareness in that psychic muscle so that you are more tuned into it, so that you do have more experiences. It can happen so easily with breath work. Again, I highly recommend it. And the biggest thing is it will start moving stuff that's in the way of you having a better life. And there's so many health benefits with it. Okay, and then I wanted to share one more story. In that same time period, I had done about 20 minutes worth of yoga. It was in the evening, 20 minutes worth of yoga. And then I did some breath work and I went into meditation, decided to meditate. And in this meditation, sometimes meditation, you know, it's hard to get in there and get it just right. And you're like, oh, I'm uncomfortable. Now, this was like straight in, like in this place of just awareness and consciousness that happened like almost immediately. But that was after like, you know, breath work, yoga and breath work in that order. And what I got was seeing these different levels of consciousness within myself. But the most amazing part of that is that I could see what I was being shown. It was like, you could call it a download, but I was in this space of feeling this energy of just power, feeling really incredibly powerful. And what I saw was how to be a creator, be in that space of just creation, that you are consciously, knowing that you are consciously creating, and how to be in that space. And what I got was, it's hard to hold that space continually and constantly because you just are. You are in a space of awareness where you are just being, or just being consciousness, knowing in that consciousness what you want to create, and it is created as you're in that space. Does that make sense? Anyway, I think it makes sense. Anyway, it's being in that space of creation and consciousness and awareness and creating, knowing that you are a creator and creating it simultaneously. We are not taught how to hold that space and be in that space because, well, and what happens as far as like desire nature and what you want to create, we can really get wrapped up in, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. That is not a space of creation. It is good to know what you want to create. In fact, you have to know what you want to create. But in that space of creation, it does exist now, and it is unfolding in front of me because I am in that space of creation and things are just happening, unfolding, moving into that space where it is there. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, part of that is just being in the now without attachment to anything. That's the hard part. We attach to things because, yeah, it's pretty amazing. But actually it's about letting go and being in that neutral space, completely neutral. That's the 0 point field. That's the space where things happen. Anyway, so hey, I got all this from doing breath work. So, and there's more too. But anyway, so please do breath work. I do want to say there's one thing about doing breath work. If you have lung issues, or if you have a cold or have some respiratory issues, do not do hardcore breath work because it could aggravate it. It definitely could aggravate it. So please be cautious around that. And also if you've had a stroke or have epilepsy or those kind of issues, like literal brain issues, please be careful with doing breath work, especially, I mean, we all have to breathe, but be careful with breath work as far as like the breath holds and pulling the energy up. You need to be careful around that. So there is a caution to doing some breath work, but it is an absolutely powerful, 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 amazing tool that you can use. You can check it out on YouTube. There's tons of YouTube videos doing breath work now, so that you don't have to buy a course. You can essentially learn how to do some really amazing breath work techniques, and there is a bunch of breath work techniques. Go on YouTube, check them out, try them out. It can literally grow your consciousness. And when we say grow your consciousness, this is consciousness work. That sounds a little boring. It is not boring. Growing your consciousness. You know what happens when you start having some of these things happen? You have so much more awareness and understanding. You don't get triggered as easily. That's really nice. And you can go into deeper states of awareness where you just know more. It is such an amazing thing. And I swear to God, you will feel smarter. It's really nice to feel smarter. Anyway, so that's the power of breath work and consciousness work, meditation, all these things. But please try breath work. It is phenomenal. Anyway, I hope you try it. I hope you listen to this whole YouTube video. Anyway, please like and subscribe. I just want to share how you can make your life better too, because I've had some phenomenal experiences around all this, and I want you to be able to have them too. And that is such a big part of my motivation. So I'm going to say bye for now. Have a great day, and try breath work. Try breath work. Please try breath work, and let me know how it goes for you. All right. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.